Hey, it's April 14th. Welcome on into another edition of Daily Cards Live here on ClaimsOnline.com, presented by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey and Rammer. For the next few days, we know that there's not going to be a rain out because the Cardinals this series and next play in stadiums that have retractable roofs.
Yeah, always good for this time of year, and probably the schedulers should do more games in roofs and sunny places, under roofs and in sunny places. But then you get the problem of those teams end up with a disproportionate amount of games during the school year, and everybody complains, and so it's not an easy fix.
I'm sure there's somebody that's really smart that can figure out how to make it work out. You would think, right?
Yeah.
Somebody smarter than the two of us.
Oh, who could be smarter than you, Joe?
That's a good question. That really, really is. Rammer, it's the Brewers opening day today. It's their home opener. As they call it, it's a 4-1-4 day there in Milwaukee. So it is a 4:14 local start time. I don't know what I'm not sure what they do for their home opener. I don't know what big ceremonies and stuff they have for the Brewers. I don't. Do you bring Paul Molitor and Robin Yount out at some point? I mean, you would think that would be part of it, right?
I don't know what they do with their alumni group. I'm always reminded of the story where somebody got traded from the Cardinals to the Padres, and former St. Louis and Padres slugger when they first began, Nate Colbert, anyway, said, when you go to the Cardinals clubhouse, you see Hall of Famers come in and visit. In the San Diego clubhouse, Nate Colbert comes in trying to sell you a used car. So trying to match traditions is it's not a fair comparison. So I don't know what they do, but Molitor and Yount sure would be a great start.
Yeah, I'm looking at at WISN right now, Rammer, and I am it's their introduction to the players and the coaches, and that's pretty much it. That's what they have for their home opener today. As we get our first look at a team that is predicted by many to finish in front of the Cardinals in the National League Central this year. We do have lineups for the game that starts in a little bit over an hour. So I'll give you those lineups, and then we can talk about this Brewers 2022 team. First, for the visiting Cardinals, it's what we've been seeing for the most of the season, but a little different towards the bottom. Dylan Carlson leads off playing right field. Paul Goldschmidt's at first. Tyler O'Neill in left. Nolan Arenado at third. Albert Pujols back DHing. We'll get to that in a second. Paul DeYoung batting sixth and playing short. Harrison Bader is batting seventh in center field. Yadi has moved down to 8 in the lineup behind the plate. And Tommy Edmond batting ninth and playing second. For the Brewers, Colton Wong is at second base leading off. Willy Adames is at short. Christian Yelich in left. Andrew McCutchen, the free agent signing this offseason, is DHing for the Brewers. Rowdy Tellez is at first base. Hunter Renfroe is in right. Omar Narvaez behind the plate. Lorenzo Kane in center. And Jace Peterson is at third for Adam Wainwright and Brandon Woodruff. Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina making their 306th start as a battery today, moving them to, I believe, third place all time in the standings for that. So, Rammer, you see that Brewers lineup. Your thoughts on the makeup of their team this year?
Yeah, they've got they need some people to step up. And I know they're counting on Christian Yelich to be the way he was a couple of years ago before the injuries cropped up. And if he's an MVP candidate, then they'll be pretty good. It appears it's hard to figure how long these early trends will go, but it's almost like they're platooning Wong and McCutchen in the leadoff spot, with McCutchen leading off against left-handers, but he's hitting fourth today and against right-handers with Wong leading off. Top half of their lineup is not too shabby. Willy Adames is a very nice player. The bottom half of the order, though, they're going to need people to step up to score the runs they need to, get into the 90s in the win total.
Yeah, Lorenzo Kane was a guy who they brought over a few years ago and is now entering the last year of his 5-year contract. And I think they probably expected a lot more out of him. I know that he chose to opt out during the 2020 season. I don't know how much missing an entire year of real baseball on the field has affected him recently, because last year dealt with some injuries, and you see now a very good center fielder for, I believe he was on that World Series team of the Royals several years back. And now you see kind of at the end, a 36, 37-year-old towards the end of his line.
Well, I don't want to speak for the Brewers, and I don't know what their expectations were, but once you hit 35, you shouldn't have expectations of your players producing at a high level. I think, I think he's probably doing fine, and we'll see how much he's got left in the tank. He's been a terrific baseball player, offensively and defensively. And even if he doesn't put up big numbers, if he stays healthy, he's going to be the kind of guy that on a given day can do real damage against you.
Yeah, Yachty and Wainwright, by the way, they will tie Red Faber and Ray Shalek, 306.
Shock.
Ray Schalk, I'm sorry, for third all time with their start today, as they go. This is their second. They need 324, so this is number 2 on the year. Once they get to number 20, they will tie Mickey Lolich and Bill Freehan for that all-time record. Next up on the list, 316. That's Warren Spahn and Del Crandall on the list. This will be the second.
The reason I remember Shock is because he was on the 1919 Black Sox, but he was not implicated. In fact, he was one of those guys that was very frustrated at the team's performance and the thought that something untoward might be going on. That's the only reason I know who that guy is.
We get to see Adam Wainwright, his second start of the season, first time through the rotation, as this is only the Cardinals' 5th game of the. It seems like we are already like weeks into the year, but no, this is only their 5th game of the season. One time through the rotation, Adam Wainwright was the lone bright spot so far for the starters, as he looks to go out there again in a year. We touched on it yesterday. So many starters all around baseball are struggling to make it out of the 5th inning. And yet it seems like Adam Wainwright came to spring training, a shortened spring training, came in very well prepared to pitch deep into games. Something we saw Clayton Kershaw yesterday was pulled after 7 innings and only 80 pitches of perfect baseball in their game up in Detroit. I'm sorry, Minnesota.
I think pitchers will do what they're conditioned to do. And players that are 10, 15 years younger than Wainwright have not been conditioned to throw complete games. So it shouldn't be a surprise. I think it's unfortunate. A team that has if you had the luxury of having 2 guys that could get you deep into a game every time through the rotation, you would have a huge advantage over the competition.
Oli Marmol met with the media about an hour or so ago and said that Dakota Hudson will get the start on Sunday. Yeah. So the rotation for this series will be Wainwright today, Michaelis on Friday, and then you have Steven Matz making his second start on Saturday with Dakota Hudson on Sunday. And then a day off on Monday, and that throws you right back into the, I believe, day off on Monday, and that goes right to the Marlins series. So Wainwright gets to start again after that on regular rest. So that means Jordan Hicks will not be getting the start until Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday is Jordan Hicks. So we should see him. We could see him in relief today or tomorrow.
Well, today's Thursday, so Wayno would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then Hicks. And so I think I saw that Hicks, they'll try and get him some work probably on Friday so that he stays on a regular routine. It just shows you that right now Hudson's the 4th starter and Hicks is the 5th starter. And it's not unusual, really historically, for the 5th starter to be skipped over when you have rainouts and things like that early in the year. It's pretty typical.
I really think today, I think if you try to follow the same formula you followed in the game on Tuesday against the Royals, where you get your starter through 4 or 5, and then you start the inning fresh with the reliever. I think Verhagen at some point needs to throw. Verhagen was a guy you went out there who competed for that fifth spot in the rotation. Haven't seen him yet. 5 games into the year, 4 games into the year. I think he needs to be the first guy up out of the bullpen today, starting a fresh inning.
This is bad for what we do for a living, but I don't really have an opinion about that. I don't know if he's throwing well. I don't know if maybe they look at each other and go, man, this guy stinks. Or, hey, we need him to be in a game where he's going to give us 4 innings of relief when a Michaelis or Matz or somebody doesn't go. I don't know what their thoughts are about him yet.
And, and like we said, with already 1 off day and 2 rainouts this early into the season, I think that throws off any kind of planning that they would have had going into the year. It's tough to sit here. I mean, it's not like we're sitting here in mid-July, and he hasn't thrown since like June 20th or something. I mean, it's the first week of the season.
I think that's trademarked. You have to send an invoice, or you'll get sent an invoice.
So
when it comes to the Cardinals lineup, it is interesting that Tommy Edmond has started off hot. Saw a stat that with runs created, he's the number 2 second baseman in the big leagues, 4 games in, admittedly. But I've been saying since last year, when he's hot, he can lead off or bat anywhere. They're hitting him 9th to be that second leadoff guy. But I thought against a right-hander, you might move him up a couple of spots to kind of separate your lefties and keep the Brewers a little more honest with their right-handed pitching. Maybe flip-flop he and Bader in the lineup. But obviously they like him as a second leadoff guy getting on base in front of the top of the order, and I'm certainly good with that.
Yeah, Cardinals, by the way, they are the only team in all of baseball that has not played a 5th game yet this season. Everybody else in base, so they have played the least amount of games in baseball. The Mets have already played, and a lot of the NL East has already played 7 games already this season. So it just kind of shows you what the anomaly so far of the first week of the Cardinals season has been so far. We will be back with you tomorrow, hopefully talking about another Cardinals victory, a 4-game series in Milwaukee to start the year. I know that they want to say that you're trying to just work your way into the season, and these wins in April, they can come up real big in the month of September. So these 4 games, early season, big time games on the for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Before we go, click to pick for me. Tyler O'Neill's got some good numbers against Woodruff, and I think could be his time to really get it going. He had a great opening day, been okay. He's got 5 or 6 RBIs, and so, but I think this could be his day.
In the game on Sunday, diving catch in the outfield and drove in a run on the sac fly. I mean, he's been productive. It hasn't been all flashy like what we saw on opening day, but still it's not he's not up there striking out like we saw very early Tyler O'Neill do when he first got the call up with the Cardinals. Rammer, this show brought to you each and every weekday by Munganast St. Louis Acura and your friends over at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, give them a call, 314-212-1500 at Royal Banks. They are the mortgage lender you want to talk to, whether it's a mortgage or a refi. Royal Banks of Missouri, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Rammer, I don't know, are you and Rockio doing a show tomorrow for the 2-man game?
NBA playoff preview tomorrow night.
All right, then I will make people wait for your predictions for that show tomorrow night here on Claves Online. He is Bob Ramsey. I am Joe Roderick. This has been another edition of Daily Cards Live, presented by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri, right here at clavesonline.com.
St. Louis Acura is the only Acura dealer in the nation to win the Precision Team Award for 30 years. How do we do it? By making you, our customers, our number one priority. As others increase their fees and take advantage of limited inventory, we keep our prices low because we remain committed to becoming better than ever and treating you as we want to be treated. We want you coming back and sending your friends and family to a veteran-owned, family-based business you can trust. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.